All right, very cool. Okay, here we go. Super progressive, what is good? We are here today with a brand new program for you. Over the past few weeks, Ruben, who's here with me right now, has
Hey guys.
really
Hey everybody.
he's really helped me kind of get the podcast on a regular schedule, take it more seriously. And we've been having so much fun with it. And we feel like we have so many conversations that either get edited out or we want to be respectful of our guest time. So we can't like
Dude, it's just so many
bombard them.
conversations, so many ideas. It's like, man.
No, totally. So what this show is going to be about, it's going to be about a half-hour program every week. And we're just going to chat as two fans who love progressive music. We're going to talk about different topics. We're going to talk about current events. And there may be some surprises throughout the show of some of your favorite DJs. So really excited for this. Ruben, how you doing, man?
Yeah, but also the whole idea is for everybody to interact. So you guys could just post your comments, tell us what you'd like for us to listen to or talk about, just find out about. We're pro for everything that you guys want to bounce in, because the whole idea is to make this like a community thing where we could really just express what we are all trying to say and think throughout all this amazing music that we're always playing, all these amazing guests that we always have. So it's just talk. Let's talk, man. Let's talk.
Dude,
Because there are a lot of things. There's a whole lot of ideas, and there's always like some comment that everybody's doing, something that it's like I don't know, it's controversial. So we got a
Recording in
very
progress.
Can you say that again? Sorry, I just started recording on Zoom.
Okay.
It's back up.
So we got today this cool topic that I think that everybody is gonna say something about, and
Yeah.
come on, Will.
Like
Bring it home.
Well, I just want to say how this idea started. Like a couple of weeks ago when we were recapping Miami Music Week, right? We got into the conversation about Sasha and John and the sound situation at M2 and kind of the controversy surrounding that. It was a conversation everybody wanted to, take part in. So that's, we're kind of bringing, I was hesitant to post that, but then seeing the positive reaction to that and the willingness for the followers to discuss and take, participate themselves in these conversations. That's why we want to kick off this episode with a discussion about something that's a little, I wouldn't say controversial, but I think everybody has an opinion on. And yeah, Ruben, I mean, you kind of came up with the topic. Do you want to introduce it a little bit?
Okay, great. It's everybody. I think, remember, if you want to say something, just post it. The thing is that we've been talking, and it's like we're super fans of progressive house, and we listen to music today. And the thing that we're always asking ourselves is melodic techno progressive house? Is melodic house progressive house? And is organic house melodic house? Are all these genres like really in the progressive side, especially melodic techno? It's like I always kind of get confused, and we've been watching videos and we've been listening to music and trying to find out things like, where did this come from? Where did this sound originate? And I'm still biased. I don't know. What do you think? But
I just think it's totally a generational thing, to be honest, because this is what I'm thinking of someone who grew up. I'm 28. This is someone who, from my point of view, like people my age, who I think this term melodic techno kind of caters to. I think this is what's happening. Ready? People my age have grown up thinking progressive house is basically big room EDM. And that's because when I first started listening to this music in high school, 15, 16, 17, 18, you hear tracks, you go to Beatport, and it's like these DJs that were, big to kids like me during the EDM boom in America, DJs like Hardwell, you know, like those big room EDM guys, their tracks were coming in under progressive house on the charts. So I'd come home from school today. I'd come home from school every day, go to Beatport, go to the progressive house chart for those EDM bangers that I was falling in love with. To me, before I discovered Global Underground and Renaissance and this awesome community, that was always progressive house to me. And I think it's the same for kids around the world, especially here in America, my age. So, what is the sound of melodic techno? It's subtle. It has progression. I would say it's a little bit sophisticated. It's a little bit, I don't know, classier compared to EDM. So I think what we have with this melodic techno thing is people searching for a term to describe this music. But unfortunately, for a whole generation of listeners, progressive house is very much connected to that big room EDM sound. You go on TikTok and people say progressive house is making a comeback, and then they'll post like an EDM track that that sound. So when I think we're all kind of talking about the same thing. Is melodic techno progressive? It definitely has progressive elements to it. I just think my generation understands progressive house due to these Beatport charts to be something different than, say, the generation before me. I don't know what you have to say about that.
Well, the thing is that it's very confusing because, like you, if I go to the progressive house chart in Beatport, all I hear is like trance. It sounds trance. So I think that all the names of the genres have been combined through music's progression, like because at the beginning there were like really big name genres like house, techno, trance, acid. Everything was like really determined and really specific. And then again, everybody started to fuse these sounds, and it got like a different perspective. And I think that that's what ended up turning with this, because if we I've been watching some videos and just reading all about it for a long time, and I think that the whole idea is of this progressive side of melodic techno is the fact that it has the melodies, right? It has it in its name, like it's melodic. It has the melodies that is something that is very basic and inherent of what progressive house is. But if you listen to the percussion, it's very techno driven. It's like a lot of 808, a lot of 909, 303s. It's all there, but it's in a minimal phase. So I think that what I've been researching and what I've listened to like my whole life as a DJ is that it progressed from minimal techno to minimal techno, getting a lot of maybe melodies, and then getting into this sound. But the thing is that right now it's like fusing into this kind of big room trance kind of thing. So it's kind of confusing at the same time. Now we all know that the godfather and Lord Savior of this melodic techno genre is oh my God, I'm forgetting the name right now. How embarrassing. It's Stefan Botzen. That, my God, I think that the cool thing about Stefan is that everybody loves it. Like if you're a techno geek, you love Stefan. If you're a progressive house geek, you love Stefan. He's like right there in the middle. Like he got the sound perfectly. And then guys like Art Bat and of course Tale of Us took it home to what it is today. And I think that the representation of melodic techno, that is the Afterlife label. But I don't know, dude. I really don't feel like it's progressive. It has a progression in it, like it's building, it drops, and then it goes boom. But I don't know. I'm still kind of biased.
I gotta say, I think what I know progressive to be, these amazing like Twilo era tracks compared to this melodic techno stuff, specifically like what you'd hear maybe at an Afterlife event, is one, I feel like that the melodic techno BPMs are honestly like pretty low. And you can correct me if
really
I'm
low.
wrong.
Totally.
It's really low. And
And
with
it's going
I
slower
know.
with each time.
And when I think of progressive, like, and tracks progressing, I think of those chugging tracks that kind of get up there in BPM and or at least have that range of like, those progressive rippers. Those can get up into the high 120s, low 130s. But I think the one thing is that, I think progressive house takes that melody and takes it very far, where melodic techno, even with melodic in the name, it's really not that melodic to me. It's the build up, and then it's the build. It's like the emphasis on melodic techno to me is like 80% techno and 20% melodic. And I think like when the melodic actually refers to the slower BPM of it, because I still feel like, and people say this about progressive house, so I understand, but I really do feel like a lot of these tracks lack a little bit of melody, and they do sound very similar to me in some ways, like the build up and then the doof, 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 doof. Like there's just
like the drop and then just the kick.
Yeah, and even if there's melody going on in the background, it's not those soaring crescendoing like the progressive
like all the
house
synths just
brings
going
to the
in,
table.
like blasting your heart.
So it's just so weird that like I think like in terms of melodic techno, and we can kind of wrap this up and get on to the next subject. But for me, the melodic techno, it's not as melodic as progressive house. But I'll say this: when you fuse melodic techno, melodic house, and organic house together, you could get a very progressive sounding set, bringing all of those different sounds together. But yeah, do you have any concluding thoughts on that?
No, I think that the good thing about it all is because it's in everybody's playlist, everybody's doing it. It's not as a DJ, I don't want to play like all melodic, like a lot of melodic techno, because as you said, with the BPMs and the thing, I just think that it's kind of a downer at some point. But everybody's doing some kind of thing, and it's fusing into this 80s sound, and it's kind of cool. And as I said, I'm still biased, man. I don't know. I'm gonna have to give it a minute.
If we had to make predictions on where this melodic techno sound is going, I'm gonna say something. I think it's actually trending towards more and more like EDM sounding, like
kind of pop, kind of EDM,
And I think that's because we're also just getting this blend of the pop world and the underground world, as electronic music has clearly never been more popular in the world than it is right now.
And you see now that a lot of melodic techno tracks are doing these covers of 80s tracks. So it's going to be like the new 80s sound. So, dude, but then again, I think that it'll be something cool to listen at a party at some point in an event. I think that all these genres bring something different that is very cool and varied in a progressive playing style of DJs. And now that we're talking about that, summer season is beginning.
Summer season is beginning, bro.
Parties everywhere.
Parties everywhere. I think May kind of, COVID even pushed it. I think they're making up for lost business, because now like Ibiza opens in April.
Yeah.
Ibiza like declares the season starts in late March, early April now. But
it's like, come on and party, man.
I think it's fair to say that the first weekend of May kicks off the summer season for this music. It's a month. It's 6 weeks after Miami Music Week, which kind of defines the spring, the spring for me.
Yeah.
And now it's May. People are playing in Ibiza. There's, opening weekend has already happened.
Ibiza is a place that I've always wanted to go, just because it's like well, since my progressive, not progressive, like since the beginning of me DJing, it was always like all the big names, all the big parties, all the big events, like everything is Ibiza. Like everybody goes there, everybody plays there. All the tracks began to be really like, because at that time, now that you say Miami Music Week, it's like Miami Music Week was when the tracks came out to the world, and suddenly, like in Ibiza, they just cemented as the track of the year. So I'd love to live that experience, guys. Like famous guys, right? Like I don't know, Carl Cox, Steve Lawler, all these huge guys. I'd love to see people like Dave Seaman in Ibiza, because I think that he has such a cool progressive vibe to everything. Who would you love to see?
Well, I think if I had my choice of seeing any DJ in Ibiza, okay, I have two answers, because I can never answer these questions without saying DT. Just because, like he plays there a lot, and I'm like, I would love to see just what direction DT takes an Ibiza set, because it's that, like, you know, Ibiza's like, it's over in Europe, and DT is that like New York staple. And yeah, I've really seen him, like, let's say 8 out of 10 shows I've seen him at is in Brooklyn or Manhattan. Like, it's New York DT, but I've never seen him, besides seeing him at Stereo, which is still North America, I've never seen him in Europe. So I'm wondering if he kind of touches more into that European, maybe more progressive sound over. I don't know. I'm just, so well, person.
But you saw him in Miami. So you saw him in Miami, and Miami is the beach style Ibiza kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it kind of transcends. But dude, it's like Ibiza at this stage is just amazing. And I think that it's always been like places like, well, when Carl Cox had his residency at Space, and also Steve Lawler, like everybody, all of these great DJs, like always talk about seminal sets, seminal parties, seminal everything at that point. And the other thing that I think it's amazing is the fact that it's just not one genre. Like if you want to go to Ibiza and just chill, well, the whole chill vibe of that side of a party, of listening to something very, very deep. In fact, the whole chill vibe in music came from Ibiza, from Café del Mar, and the whole big scene party raves, like techno raves, also were in Ibiza. So you got this huge range of things that you could go to, listen to, and it's 24 hours a day, bro. It's like choose whatever you want.
Okay, amazing. So let's how we can end this topic of conversation is, I have a little game. Okay. If I'll say mine, and then I would like to hear yours. If I could pick my perfect day in Ibiza, it would be, so Steve Lawler, when I interviewed him about Ibiza, he was saying how he had that residency, I think at Mambo, 8 hours a day, every day. That's how he learned how to DJ. And I think if I could see any single set, it would be from noon to, let's say, midnight, a Danny Howells daytime into nighttime, with the majority of it being light outside. I couldn't think of anything better. I don't know about you.
Oh man, dude, I don't know what to say, but I'll be with you there in that Danny Howells set, and then I could easily just jump into like an Hernan Cattaneo set or the Danny Tenaglia set. I'm just there, like, yeah. But just in fact, even one of those days, we could just stay and listen to Danny play also the night set, because that is amazing. Party Danny is awesome. I just love Danny Howells, man. I could watch Danny Howells play all day easly. It's amazing.
Well, one of my favorite DJs ever. You know, we said we had some surprises for our viewers with this first podcast episode, and I think someone has a message to share. I think it's actually Dave Seaman, who was just playing in Ibiza for his opening weekend this past weekend. So here's what Dave has to say.
Hi, this is Dave Seaman, just back from Ibiza, where I had the pleasure of playing poolside at Pike's Hotel last weekend, and also the Sunset at Mambo, Cafe Mambo, two favourite places that I've frequented many, many times over the years. It's always a pleasure to get back to Ibiza. It's always so exciting to land there, and by the looks of how busy it was on the roads, how busy it was to get through the traffic in Ibiza town last weekend. If that's anything to go by, it's going to be a really, really busy summer. I know everybody's very excited and gearing up for a big one. Ibiza's always been very good to me. I actually lived there for a couple of years, just after the turn of the millennium. And I've played of all the major clubs over there throughout the years. It's a very special place, the original party island, and continues to be one of the main epicentres of electronic music and clubbing throughout the world. I always say if you can't have a good time in Ibiza, then you just simply don't know how to have a good time. And for all those people that say it's not as good as it used to be, it's probably them that's not as good as they used to be fair.
What else can we say about that? It's like,
all I can say is, bro, I gotta go. I gotta freaking go to Ibiza. I've never been.
I gotta be there, man. I gotta go. I gotta live that dream. It's bucket list.
I feel like I'm a poser, and like, people can say what they want about the magic of Ibiza. It was so much better in the past. They've been saying that since 1998. Like they've always been saying it. So
they've always saying that. Yeah, everybody always says it. It's a generational thing. But dude, it's always great and amazing music. And if we go through the past and through the future, I think that we gotta start doing like I don't know, like a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame kind of thing, because we all love all these sets, all these tracks, all these compilations, mixed albums, and we have all these great DJs, and we've interviewed a lot of them, and we want to bring this segment in that is going to be like an induction. So we have what is it that we have?
Ruben, let me ask you this, bro. If you could induct one mix compilation into the Progressive House Super Progressive Hall of Fame, which would you induct?
Dude, I'm totally biased with this, and of course I'd have to select like the one that changed my life, because Danny Tenaglia changed my life. So I think that everybody that has heard me talk in this super progressive channel or podcast knows that Global Underground 10, Danny Tenaglia, Athens, for me is the thing. It's like my holy Bible. I totally go once a year as a minimum, listening to it, learning from DT. It has everything. Well, it has minimal techno, progressive, trance, tribal, techno. It has all. I can just imagine DT playing it. So that will be mine.
So I want to ask you something quick, and I know you actually touched on this in my first interview with you ever, which was the Backtracks interview. And if you guys listening haven't heard that, this is like a great introduction to who Ruben is. It's like probably a year ago in the podcast list, but you can go back and listen to that. But I want you to tell me again, and I want you to tell our viewers listening now. You said this mixed compilation was life-changing for you. Do you remember like when you first purchased it, or what it was like hearing it for the first time?
No, I still have it like if it was yesterday. I traveled to the States. I went to San Francisco, and I went with my father. That was in like some conference, something like that. I was like 20 years old. I don't remember the age exactly, but I went walking through the streets of San Francisco. Amazing, lovely city, like everybody. No, I'm sorry, San Diego. And I'm walking through the streets of San Diego. Amazing weather, everybody's lovely. And I walked into, like, I got to buy some music, right? I got to take the time to buy some vinyls. And then I suddenly start looking at, there's this wall of used CDs, like $2, $5. And then I start looking at these. At that time in my life, like I was playing a lot of trance and hard techno, like trance, hard trance, and techno and hard techno. So I look at this Global Underground, but what really touched me was the name Athens. Like, but I imagined more of a beach vibe, Mykonos kind of thing. So I grabbed it. I look at the playlist and I see, okay, so music is the answer is here. Okay, great. I'm taking this home, right? It's like $2, something like that. I go into the hotel, I play it, and just with the beginning, like the whoa, 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 that track, that haunting bass line, like opening everything. It's like, and I'm sorry, but what the fuck is this? Oh man, it just blew my mind. Like but it's not what I was expecting. But at the same time, it was such a huge surprise, and track after track, and like all the way that he mixed the progression, just like how he was building, going through all these genres that were at the beginning, like tech based, and all these percussions, and it was just so mind blowing. It's like, dude, I the only thing that I thought is that I gotta go out tomorrow, buy these type of vinyls, because this is the sound. This is what I gotta play from now on. Like, take all these trance things that I was playing and give them away. Like, it just changed everything for me. Everything, dude. Amazing album. Thank you, DT. I just can't say enough. You changed my life, and I'm here in this progressive world and this amazing project with Will because of Danny Tenaglia, Global Underground, Athens.
Amazing. I think the album is one of the first Global Undergrounds I listened to, and before I knew what GU really was about, it's like this album to me always stood out for two reasons. One, it's DT in a freaking New York Yankees hat.
Yeah, totally.
On the cover. I'm just like, dude, this guy is such a G. Like, he looks so cool. Like, I'm just like, wow. In that, like, even though it's Athens, just that, like, jungle background, I'm like, this is the most badass thing ever. Second of all, Athens is probably... I'm not going to, like, compare cities and say I have so many favorite cities, but Athens is really one of the most special cities to me, just on personal reasons. I spent a half year there studying abroad, so I got to, like, live in Athens. Nice. It was so cool. I think it's one of the most misunderstood cities in the world. When I hear people say that, oh, you only need a weekend in Athens to go see it, like, my heart, like, breaks in half. Because there is so much that city has to offer, and it really comes down to, like, there's the history, obviously, that spans, like, basically the course of human history.
That's the first reason why I've always wanted to go. Top 3.
But it's also the people. Like, these people are some of the most nice, interesting, spirited people I've ever met. And to think what clubbing there is. I got to go clubbing with a super progressive follower, George, there to go see Iniella this past summer. Shout out, George. You just feel it. And Athens does have this, like, kind of in the center, it's super urban. By the beach, it's very vibey. It really has a lot to offer. But and then on top of all of that, the reason why I studied there, why this album means a lot to me, my dad's side of the family is from Lesbos, which is the easternmost Greek island. So, like, just for me to see GU feature a Greek country with a New York DJ, I'm like, this mix speaks to me on every possible level. So shout out DT. And dude,
now that you're saying, like, the cap thing, it got me so much that at that time in my life, I used to play with a New York Yankees cap just because of the whole Danny Tenaglia shit, dude. It's like, it got me deep.
Dude, we gotta post a pic. We're gonna clip this and post a pic. I'm not even kidding. That's the most amazing thing. But yeah, so I get this awesome opportunity to do some work with DT, and I let him know that we're gonna start this super progressive Hall of Fame, and that we wanted GU10 in Athens to be the first mix put in the Hall of Fame, and he actually had something to say about it. Here is the man himself, Danny Tenaglia, accepting the first ever Super Progressive Hall of Fame induction for his mix compilation, Global Underground 10 in Athens. Here you go.
Hey everybody, I want to thank my dear friend William at Super Progressive for inducting my first compilation CD for Global Underground into his Super Progressive Hall of Fame. Thank you, William. You're the best.
So yeah,
Dude,
I mean, man, DT's in the SP Hall of Fame. Like, of
what
course,
can I say?
but
I'm just speechless, man. I'm just speechless. Dude, how else can we just transcend this? And the only thing that we could do is just talk about music.
yeah, I mean,
It's like there are just no words. There's no words, Will. What can I say, man?
yeah. So we wanna leave you guys with some music to listen to until we until we speak again.
Yeah,
and
of course.
I guess
The thing is that remember that this is Progressive House channel and Progressive House passion and just progressive in all the sense. And we are progressing into the future, and we're listening to all these kind of sounds and all these kind of music, and we thought that, hey, dude, we just gotta share this, right? Like, please, everybody, just share your comments. What should we be listening to? What tracks do you recommend? What sets? What mixed albums? Because nowadays there's like so much music, but if we focus on it, I think that we could build something that is very cool. So, Will, I think that I want to share with everybody like the set that I've been playing on and on, because I just love the sound, this new sound. There's this music producer from Argentina. His name is Ezequiel Arias, and Ezequiel sound is just amazing. Like great new labels, like big staple labels like Injuna Deep, even Yodo's label, Odd One Out, and of course Erlan Catanius, who beat it. He's just he's becoming a regular on these labels, and he recorded a set for Injuna Deep, like his second set for Injuna Deep. But the cool thing about Ezequiel Arias sets is that he's always playing like the tracks that mostly the tracks that he's producing, and a lot of bootlegs and remixes that he does of other tracks. So the set is just amazing. It's an hour, really progressive. He pushes the boundaries because Ezequiel's sound is very kind of tech-based, huge bass lines, but at the same time, a lot of melodies, really melodic, but in a melodic real sense, like the real melodic side of progressive house. It's an amazing set. So we're gonna drop the link here in the description so you can just bounce and listen to that. And come on, Will.
yeah,
Hit me with it.
So for me, it's like new music's kind of tough for me because I'm like new to this scene, new to this music. So always looking forward, always looking back. I have probably like, it's really nice. It's like almost overwhelming. There's probably like 35 DMs a day on the Super Progressive account, like pointing to different music.
Listen to this, listen to that.
And I think, each episode I'll focus on either the past or the future, or whatever. It's all new to me, but I've just been having so much fun with Last Rhythm, which is a rave classic, but it's brand new to me. So just imagine how it was for all of you hearing that track for the first time. That's like the phase I'm in. And obviously I'm obsessed going back and looking at track lists and for those sets that like birthed the legend of Sasha, those like early Shelley's sets, those, the like even before the Renaissance sets, there's tracks like Orbital's Belfast. There's tracks like Left Field, Not Forgotten, with the Whitney Houston a cappella over it. And just as frequently featured is this Last Rhythm. And there's the cool thing about this track too, I found, is like the vocal mix is just as good as the original mix. Like it's all so good. And I think why I'm having so much fun with it is It's just, I'm always listening to, like, you think these early rave scenes, like Sasha, like sending people into euphoria. But I think what also stands out to me is his ability in a very new and young scene to like add some seriousness to it and add some emotional depth to it. And that's what this track does for me in the sets. It's like, whoa, I was just losing my shit, hands in the air. But now I'm like, it's me on the dance floor with this track.
Totally,
I keep calling it introspective and emotional, but that's what it is for me. So that's my track of the week.
So for those of you who haven't seen it, you can see the reaction video.
Yeah, I recorded myself. Dude, I recorded myself listening to it for like the first time in its entirety.
Oh my God.
It's on the YouTube channel. It's on the Instagram. It's ridiculous, but that's how those videos go.
But the cool thing is that in that video, like, Danny Howells is commenting on the track. Like, hey, that track is amazing. And I'm like answering Danny, like, dude, I played that track like I don't know, like 2 months ago at a party, and everybody just lost their shit. It's an amazing track still. Like, everybody just like you reacted. It's like, it's just so emotional and so big. So guys, all the links are gonna be down here.
And what we'll do, Ruben, with this podcast, we're launching it. We're gonna put the music we mentioned into a playlist on Spotify. And we'll put
it's only deserved that we create this kind of induction kind of thing. Of
we'll put the link to the Spotify playlist too in the comments. So hopefully, by listening to this podcast, all we want you guys to do is to get your progressive fix. You're gonna get links to classic sets. You're gonna get links to new music. You're gonna get links to other super progressive content that you might have missed. But as always, the conversation is always going to be about all things progressive. But I thought this was an awesome first episode.
And of course, please revisit like the Induction artists and the Induction album that we're going to be talking about. And dude, it's all progressive, man. It's been amazing, Will.
Yeah, it's been great. And also let us know topics to discuss in that first segment where we were discussing if melodic house, melodic techno is progressive. Because we want to get you guys involved in the chat too, and in the conversation, and taking your questions is how we want to do that.
And so also, guys, remember, if there's any topic that you guys would like to talk or listen to us talk about, bringing to the table, new tracks, new sets, hit the likes, hit the comments, do the forward. It always helps us just to get, I don't know, like in the algorithms to other people, so everybody, all this community can grow,
dude,
and we could just have a lot of fun together, man. It's the whole idea. So guys, thank you for everything. You'll be watching and listening to us next week, and remember, stay true, stay progressive.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. We're so stoked for this. Hope you are too. Peace out.